Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. This is my first video in a long time. I don't remember when I posted my April wrap up and May TBR, but it was before April was over because I remember I filmed it before I left for vacation and now I am back for vacation. I had even pre-filmed some videos before I left, but I significantly underestimated how tiring it is to go on vacation somewhere hot with 2 young children. So every day when we got back to the hotel, I just went to sleep and didn't get to do anything. Like even typing the title of a video was too much for my brain at that time. So I am back and I am here with a very different kind of video for me. This is a book haul video. I believe I have done 2 of these in the entire history of my YouTube channel. One of them was at Christmas time because my birthday and Christmas are close together, so it was just the books that I have been gifted. So I think I've only actually done one, like go out and purchase books and talk about them. And one of the reasons for that is that I just own a lot of books that I need to read, so I'm really trying hard not to go out and make big purchases. However, when I got back from vacation, I went to Chapters, which is like the equivalent, Barnes & Noble equivalent in Canada. And I had a lot of their loyalty points that had been built up. I had $200 worth of loyalty points. And I impulsively just decided to spend them. There was one book that I was going to Chapters to look for, and I did end up getting it, so I'll show you that one in a second. But I thought, I've been saving these, hoarding these points for so long, and why? I'm just gonna use them. And I did. So I will show you the books that I picked up, which is an eclectic group of books because I only went in there, like I said, searching for one. So it's a mixture of like, oh, this has been on my TBR, and ooh, there's a staff recommendation, and wow, that thing on the table looks cool. So it's, it doesn't have a ton to do with like any of the TBRs or the lists or anything that I have done this year, but it is a fun group of books, I think. And I'm just gonna take them out of the bag, like the order that they're in there. Ugh. So the very first one is the complete short stories of Ernest Hemingway. I've talked about liking Ernest Hemingway on the channel a couple of times. The Sun Also Rises by Ernest Hemingway is one of my favorite books. I do think that Ernest Hemingway is a 5-star author for me. There are parts of his writing and parts of what comes through in his writing that are not things that I particularly agree with or always enjoy, but I just love his style so much. And I haven't read any of his short stories. And another reason that I wanted to pick this up is actually the show that I was really into last year that I talked about all the time on the channel, Banana Fish, is an anime, and each episode of that anime is titled after a book or a short story from an author of the Lost Generation. And Hemingway is one of those authors, and a bunch of the episodes are titled after short stories by Hemingway, and I kind of want to read them. I have a Banana Fish reading list in one of my reading journals, which should surprise nobody who's watching this channel, but I would like to read the short stories that correspond with those episodes and see thematically how they link together. So I think the person who wrote Banana Fish was a bit of a book nerd, so I want to see what I feel or how I feel about that. So looking forward to reading some Hemingway. If you have a favorite short story by him, then please let me know and I will chat about it when I get around to reading it. The next book, is one that everybody has been reading and talking about and saying that they think I will enjoy, and that is an Encyclopedia of Fairies, and this is by Heather Fawcett. So this is a book that I had reserved on the library, like on the website for the e-library, and I was gonna be good and I was gonna get it from the library and read it, and it's, you know, it's not very long. I'm sure it wouldn't have taken a long time for me to read. But when I saw it in the store, the cover's just so pretty. And I feel really confident that I'm going to like it because people who know my taste well and who have read the book have said they think that I will like it. And I trust those opinions. So I believe that this will be a book that I enjoy. So I probably would have wanted to buy it after reading it from the library anyway. And I just saw it there in the store looking so pretty, and I decided to pick it up. So there's that one. I'm hoping to get to this one soon because it does seem like a good summary kind of book to read. The next one is a book that I've been hearing about forever. Not necessarily on Sci-Fi Fantasy BookTube, but just in the BookTube community at large and just people that I know in my everyday life, as opposed to my booktube life, have read this book and really enjoyed it. So this was also a staff pick, which is what kind of made me remember that I had never read it. And that is Pachinko. So this is a multi-generational work of literary fiction. And I have heard that it is heartbreaking and excellent, and the writing is beautiful and all that kind of stuff. And sometimes I'm just looking for one of those hard-hitting works of literary fiction, and I have been wanting to read this one for a long time. So once I had fully committed myself to spending all these points, I was like, what better book to pick up? Now, the one qualm I have with it is one of these like cutaway covers. Like, other than permanent stickers, this one's not a permanent sticker, it's just a staff pick sticker, but other than permanent stickers, this is the thing that I hate about covers the most in the world. It is the worst. Like, I know that the cover or the color lines up with the color of the like little sun here, but this is a beautiful cover, and I just don't like the way it makes them flick off. Like, ugh, don't do it, don't do it. But anyway, hopefully I'll be able to read that one soon too. After this was a total impulse buy, and only because Mike at Chapters, so thank you Mike at Chapters, made this his staff pick. And this is The Bloody Chamber by Angela Carter. So number one, this is a really cool cover. Number two, it's a novella or collection of short stories. Is it? Let's see. It looks like it is. I think The Bloody Chamber might be a novella, as happens sometimes with these horror compilations. And then there are other short stories in here, but I have read relatively little horror. I have read very little horror written by women, and very little horror written by women 75 years ago. So I thought that this would be a good opportunity to pick something up that is a little different than the things I usually read. And I would like to know more about classic horror, because I think that it has had a big influence on sci-fi fantasy. Definitely some of the classic writers have had big influences on modern fantasy authors. And so I thought it would be fun to pick this up. I don't know exactly how scary this is supposed to be. I don't even know what branch of horror we're dealing with here. Psychological, body, existential, monstrous, who knows? But I am going to read it, and I will blame Mike if I am traumatized, and I will thank Mike if I like it. So there we go. After that, it's getting lower in the bag now, so I have to like bend down lower to get a book from the bottom every time. This is a book that I saw while I was on vacation, because I did go to a bookstore while I was away, and I wanted to buy it, but my suitcase was already really heavy, and I was like, oh, I can't buy it. This is so sad. But the cover was beautiful, and so when I got to Chapters in Newfoundland, I was like, oh, I'm gonna check and see if it's there. And it was, and it is the collection of, now this is gonna be embarrassing because I don't know how to pronounce this, and every time someone pronounces it, they pronounce it differently. Fianavar? I don't know. Tell me how wrong I am. Tell me how to do it the right way in the comments. But anyway, Guy Gavriel Kay's first trilogy, I believe. This is a collection of 3 novels, and it has the most beautiful cover. This like gorgeous dragon with the pinks and the purples and the blues. I just think this is one of the prettiest covers that I have ever seen. I have been wanting to read more Guy Gavriel Kay since I read Tagana last year or the year before. Now I don't remember. I think it was last year. I think it was last year that I read it. Anyway, I want to read more Guy Gavriel Kay, and I didn't really know which one to read, but this has made the decision for me because this book is so, so pretty. And I think that there are Arthurian elements in this. Jake can tell me if I'm right or wrong, but I believe that there's some Arthurian mythology that's kind of woven into this story, so that means I'll probably like it. I know this isn't supposed to be his best work, and that some people are kind of split on whether they even like it or don't like it, but I think I will like it. The few things that I think I know about it make me believe that I will like it. And even if I don't, I can still continue on with the rest of Guy Gavriel Kay, and I can still own this very pretty book. So there we go. The next book is the one I actually went into the bookstore for. Oof. That is In the Serpents Wake by Rachel Hartman. So for anybody who's watched my last couple of videos, I was talking about a series called Tess of the Road. The first book is called Tess of the Road, and I was talking about the mental health representation and how much I enjoyed that part of that book. And this is the follow-up in the duology. So this is the second book, and I am so excited to read it. I'm really sad because I have a special TBR planned for June, and I'm already, like, I already have some things that I have said I'm gonna read with friends in May, so I don't think I have any time to read it, but now I have it and I wanna read it so badly. Also, look how pretty this cover is. Like, I know it's a bit creepy with all the tentacles and stuff, but also just like so arresting when you look at it. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to read this one. We'll see when I do. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to wait till July. I'm sure I'll let someone down. It always happens. And then we have our last book, which is the book Wouldn't Burn. Sorry, that was really loud. The book That Wouldn't Burn by Mark Lawrence. So this was a total impulse buy. And it was because I guess it was the release day of this book when I was at the bookstore and they just had it out on display. And I was like, I like Mark Lawrence. I really love Red Sister. I love the Book of the Ancestor series. I haven't read anything else by Mark Lawrence, but also this is a beautiful cover. And I love books about books. So again, it was a little bit of an impulse buy. I'm really hopeful that I will like this one, but we will see. I will keep my fingers crossed. But if anybody else is reading this book in the coming months, or if you have read it and you want to talk about it or anything like that, then let me know, because I know Mark Lawrence is really popular. And I did see a couple people post about the book on release day, like on Instagram, just sharing pictures, but I haven't actually heard anybody's opinion or what they think of the book yet. So if you want to talk about that, then please let me know. And that is it. That is my collection of impulsive book buys. I was able to spend the $200 that I had on worth of points that I had on my account. So that was a fun feeling. And now I get to build them all up all over again, which I also enjoy doing. But I am still very committed to reading the books that I own. I don't imagine I will have another kind of bookish shopping spree like this again this year, but it was very fun, very cathartic to go in there and pick out all these books and just buy them. So it was a good afternoon. It was a good way to end out the vacation. And now I have a bunch of books that I am really excited to read. So please, if you have read any of these, if you are looking forward to reading any of these, please let me know. And I will be back with some regularly scheduled content in the coming days. I'll see you with another video soon. Bye.